delete this stuff. This is my reputation.
Let's really break this down, because the drama with Lil Meech and Big Meech just exploded across the internet, and it's way messier than anyone thought. Their family name is getting dragged through the mud, and the way things are coming out, it's not looking good. The receipts floating around are flat out ugly. People been side-eyeing for months, wondering how they're really moving behind the scenes, and now it feels like a puzzle finally came together. And trust me, the picture it paints is nothing short of wild. First up, let's get into those leaked conversations, because in them...
Please, delete this stuff. This is my reputation, bro. I apologize for saying what I said to you. Please, man.
But you said it was capped, though. What was capped, Demetrius?
Celina, I said that to get the post deleted, Celina.
Okay. All right. But now you want to make me look like a liar in front of the internet. It's crazy, Demetrius.
That's not how I tried to make you seem. I apologize for that.
Lil Meech is literally caught out here pleading. The stuff is saying it's not just embarrassing, it's exposing. The image he tries to put on in public doesn't match what's being said in private. And once fans saw those messages, the internet wasted no time ripping him apart. It's like the entire storyline around the Meech family just flipped overnight, and people are eating it up. That's not the voice of a man moving like a boss or someone untouchable. That's the sound of a guy with no cards left to play. You can hear it crystal clear, the desperation bleeding through every word, like every door already slammed shut. And it only gets uglier from there. He keeps looping back, stumbling through excuses, trying to piece together some story that sounds believable. But then he slips. Bad. He flat out admits he lied just to trick Celina Powell into deleting a post. That's humiliation in its rawest form, because once the internet stamps you as a liar, there's no coming back. Screenshots never die, and the memes? They'll outlive your whole reputation. And this is where the narrative really flips. For years, Big Meech was painted as a legend untouchable. The myth said the BMF kingpin had millions hidden away, cash tucked in ceilings, secret stashes behind walls, offshore accounts stacked like treasure chests. The fantasy went that when he finally came home last October, he'd be stepping back into a kingdom of riches piled sky high. But Celina Powell, she came through to shred that entire fairy tale. She says the empire of secret millions doesn't even exist, and the truth behind the curtain is way darker than fans imagined. Celina, the same woman who built a whole brand on exposing rappers and celebrities, claims the situation is beyond broke. She says not only is Lil Meech tapped out, but Big Meech himself is relying on favors instead of fortune. According to her, when she was around Lil Meech, she instantly spotted the cracks in his so-called baller image. She alleges he was strung out on pills, moving reckless, slipping hard. Even crazier, she says she literally watched his Lamborghini Urus and Ferrari get yanked from him, not by ops, not by enemies, but because he couldn't keep up with the sky-high payments and insurance bleeding him dry. And let's break that part down. Exotic cars don't just cost a fortune to buy. The insurance alone can run $8,000 to $10,000 every 6 months. That's basically like paying a second car note, except it's for something you don't even fully own. If your money isn't flowing consistent, those bills bury you quick. That's a kind of lifestyle that shines bright on Instagram, but behind the scenes, it's nothing but debt and drowning. And Celina didn't stop there. She went even further, dropping claims that both Lil Meech and Big Meech are crashing inside one of Floyd Mayweather's Miami mansions. Not owning it, not even renting, just posted up like it's borrowed space or some long Airbnb stay. Step back and suddenly her story starts clicking. Remember when 50 Cent cut them off? First, he pulled the plug on the BMF show. Then,
and the first time I met 50, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone, he like, hey, what you think about going to acting class and I want you to play your dad? And at first, it sounded crazy, but of course, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing, so of course I wanted to do it, I just didn't know if I could do it.
The draft from Randy because it was important to show the origin story, to see the innocence and how they chose to get involved, and then it grew.
He scrapped that massive welcome home concert for Big Meech. Those two moves erased their biggest money streams overnight. And once that relationship with 50 crumbled, their financial foundation crumbled right with it. The BMF empire that was supposed to stand tall is now looking more like smoke and mirrors barely holding together. What once looked like an untouchable empire now feels like smoke and mirrors, and the cracks are right there in plain view for everyone to see. It's painful to watch unfold, because the old heads still remember Big Meech's golden era like it was yesterday. Back then, he wasn't just touching money, he was money. He defined what it meant to live larger than life. He didn't just flex. He invented the entire rulebook on flexing, a lifestyle rappers still mimic to this day. Picture it, Maybachs and Lambos parked up like Matchbox toys. Private jets fueled and ready at all times. Both wrists flooded with diamond watches. Designer outfits pouring in like running water. Clubs literally shutting down just to let BMF through the door. And when they showed up, cash rained so heavy it looked like autumn leaves falling. Big Meech pioneered that loud spending culture, showing power not by saving wealth, but by wasting it in one wild night. But fast forward decades later, and every dollar once thrown across club floors is a dollar he probably wishes was still stacked in the vault. That's the cold truth. The same game that feeds you will flip and starve you once the bills come knocking. Flexing reckless always comes with a price, and eventually someone's got to pay. The sting cuts deeper seeing Lil Meech fold under that enormous shadow. How do you come from one of the most legendary street dynasties in history only to get exposed by someone like Celina Powell? Let's be real. She's not the kind of woman men brag about. She's infamous for being the modern-day superhead, hopping from one celebrity to the next, using clout while the money flows, then blasting private business the second it dries up. And the streets know her reputation. Any father with real game would warn his son to steer clear of women like that. And Big Meech, who survived betrayal, hustling wars, and the feds breathing down his neck, definitely knew the playbook. But Lil Meech? Either he didn't listen or he thought his last name made him bulletproof. That's when the biggest mistakes get made. Because Celina didn't stop at clowning him over repossessed whips or the Mayweather Mansion connection. She went even deeper. She accused him of battling a heavy pill problem. And that's not just dangerous for his health. It's a direct hit to his image. Once people believe addiction has you in a chokehold, everything you do gets filtered through that lens. And then came the nuclear bomb. She called him a snitch. According to her, it all ties back to a police stop where a gun was found in the car. Her claim? Instead of taking the weight himself, he pointed the finger at his own homie, who ended up locked up while Lil Meech walked free. True or not, once that rumor lands, especially with the Meech name attached, it's a stain that never washes off. A snitch label sticks forever. In street culture, even a whisper of it can haunt you worse than proof. And now, his reputation is dangling by threads. Zoom out for a second. If social media had been around during BMF's peak, just imagine the chaos. Every scandal, every flex, every rumor would have been blasted to millions instantly. Back then, dirt only traveled through whispers, coded magazine stories, or word of mouth in the streets. Today, screenshots, videos, and recordings spread online faster than denial ever could. That's why in this era, reality matters way more than image. If you're really up, there's no need to beg, lie, or overflex. But if you're broke in real life while pretending rich online, someone who knows the truth will always expose you with receipts. That's exactly what we're watching now. Loud bawling for the timeline, but quiet begging behind the scenes. And when the Meech name gets tied to that kind of storyline, it cuts deeper than usual. The lesson buried in all this is simple. Live within your means. If the cash flow is tight, there's no shame in letting go of the flashy act. Forget the Ferraris and Lambos if you can't afford them, because those toys will sink you faster than they impress strangers on the gram. There's nothing wrong with driving a Honda, Toyota, or any solid car that keeps your bills clean and your peace steady. Real stability will always shine brighter than fake luxury. And when hard times hit, pawning off the extra jewelry beats drowning in debt any day. Sell off the extras, cut the dead weight, and start stacking in silence. Quiet money multiplies. Loud money evaporates. Because once you're at the point of begging someone to delete posts, blowing up phones, and scrambling for damage control, the damage is already permanent. And in today's world, nothing ever disappears. Every call can be recorded, every DM can be screenshot, and every slip-up can go viral in seconds. Once it hits the internet, it's tattooed there forever. And money isn't the only storm hovering over Lil Meech. He's facing a bigger fight. has got to get clean. If the pill rumors are even halfway true, they explain the reckless choices, the sloppy moves, and the desperate energy we keep seeing. When someone's drowning in addiction, they move reckless, trusting the wrong people, saying the wrong things, making promises they can't keep. By the time sobriety clears in, it's too late. The damage is stamped, the clips are saved, and the receipts are everywhere. That's a perfect formula for a career collapse in real time. And that's exactly what's unfolding. Recordings leaking nonstop. Allegations stacking higher every day. Back-to-back exposure hitting with no pause. It's not just pulling Lil Meech down, it's dragging Big Meech's name with him. That once unshakable empire they built brick by brick now looks like it's dissolving into dust. And let's be honest, Big Meech himself isn't the untouchable giant he once was. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, BMF wasn't just big, it was mythic. Fleets of exotic cars, jets always fueled, VIP sections locked down, and heavy sway over the entire rap game. Just being associated with BMF could launch an artist into stardom. That's how heavy the crown was. But today, different ballgame. An empire built on that kind of flashy excess can't breathe under the all-seeing eye of social media. Cameras are everywhere. Everybody's watching, and the smallest crack in the image gets magnified into a full collapse. Instead of quiet power building in the shadows, the Meech name is taking hit after hit online in front of millions. What we're really watching is the unraveling of a family that was once feared, respected, and idolized, now humiliated by their own choices. The father who once set the standard for shining is now mostly silent, popping up in pictures but rarely speaking, while his son spirals in front of the world like a cautionary tale. And the same fans who once idolized them, they are sitting back with popcorn like it's a Netflix series, watching the downfall episode by episode. The lesson here couldn't be clearer. Don't build your name on lies. Don't waste money on luxuries you can't maintain. And never hand access to people who profit off your weakness. Because the internet, it's merciless. The same crowd that hypes you today will flip tomorrow and expose everything. And once that switch flips, there's no rewinding. If you rock with this breakdown, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, share it with your people, and of course, hit that subscribe. More heat is on the way.